It was a night full of energy, intensity, and unrelenting pace as the Indiana Fever faced off against the Atlanta Dream on May 10, 2025. This game had been highly anticipated by fans of both franchises, and it did not disappoint for a single moment. From the second the ball went up, it was obvious we were in for a battle between two teams hungry to make their mark early in the season. The Fever, still riding the momentum brought in by Caitlin Clark's arrival, had their sights set on proving they could compete at a high level. On the other side, the Dream were looking to reassert themselves as a playoff contender, with a roster stacked with young talent and gritty veterans. The opening minutes set the tone right away. Indiana got off to a fast start with Clark immediately, making her presence felt. She drained a long three from well beyond the arc, sending a buzz through the crowd and putting the Dream on notice that she wasn't just here to play. She was here to dominate. But Atlanta responded with poise. Rhyne Howard came back with a silky jumper off the dribble, then followed it up with a hard drive to the basket, drawing a foul and converting both free throws. This exchange between Clark and Howard quickly became a highlight reel of its own, with both stars trading baskets, showing off elite skill, and elevating the level of competition. Aliyah Boston also came to play. The chemistry between her and Clark is growing with every game, and tonight it looked sharper than ever. Boston carved out space in the paint, securing deep post position and finishing through contact. She wasn't just scoring either. She was grabbing boards, setting solid screens, and anchoring the defense. Every time the Dream tried to push into the paint, there she was, forcing tough shots and clogging the lane. The pace of the game didn't slow down. Atlanta's Haley Jones made sure of that. With her court vision and burst in transition, she kept the Fever defense on their heels. At one point in the second quarter, she grabbed a defensive rebound, sprinted coast to coast, and delivered a slick behind-the-back pass to Cheyenne Parker, who finished strong at the rim. Plays like that brought the fans to their feet and reminded everyone that the Dream have their own stars ready to shine. As halftime approached, neither team had managed to build a comfortable lead. Every possession felt important. The defense, from both sides, tightened up. There were deflections, shot clock violations, diving saves, pure effort. Christy Wallace for Atlanta brought the hustle on both ends, pestering Clark on defense and knocking down open corner threes when the ball rotated her way. Indiana answered with bench production that helped keep them in the game. Erica Wheeler brought energy and leadership, settling things down when needed and making smart decisions with the ball. At the break, the score was nearly tied, and the feeling in the building was electric. You could sense this was going to go down to the wire. Both coaching staffs made adjustments, and the third quarter began with a new level of urgency. Atlanta came out firing. They pushed the tempo, and the Fever struggled to match their energy early on. A quick 8-0 run by the Dream gave them a brief lead, with Rhyne Howard once again leading the charge. She was hitting from mid-range, finishing through contact, and even coming up with a key steal that led to an easy bucket. But Indiana didn't panic. They stuck to their game plan, leaned into their strengths, and waited for their star to take over again. And Caitlin Clark did just that. She pulled up from deep, hitting 2 long threes back-to-back that completely shifted the momentum. Then she found Boston under the rim with a no-look pass that had the crowd erupting. Every time Atlanta tried to create separation, Clark dragged them right back. By the time we entered the fourth quarter, you could feel the tension in every movement. Neither team was giving up easy looks. Hands were in passing lanes. Screens were being fought through, and rebounds turned into scrambles. A key moment came with about 6 minutes left when Cheyenne Parker drove baseline, spun past her defender, and finished a tough and one layup. She let out a roar, and the Dream bench exploded with energy. Indiana responded on the very next possession. Clark calmly brought the ball up, ran a 2-man game with Boston, and when the defense collapsed, she kicked it out to NaLyssa Smith, who buried the corner 3. That kind of execution under pressure is exactly why this Indiana squad is so exciting to watch. With 4 minutes to go, the game was still a one-possession contest. Every decision mattered. There was a moment where both teams traded turnovers, and you could see the fatigue setting in, but also the heart. Nobody was backing down. Players were diving for loose balls, contesting every shot, and crashing the glass like it was Game 7 of the playoffs. Then came perhaps the biggest sequence of the night. With 2 minutes left and the Dream up by 2, Caitlin Clark came off a screen and launched a deep three with a defender in her face. Splash. Indiana took the lead. Atlanta came right back down the floor, ran a beautifully executed set that left Howard open in the corner. She nailed the three. Lead change again. Final minute. 1-point game. Clark drives, kicks it out. Boston draws a foul inside. 2 clutch free throws. She hits them both. Now Indiana's up 1. Atlanta calls. Timeout. They inbound, and Howard attacks, but Boston is there again, altering the shot. Fever rebound. Now the Dream have to foul. With just seconds remaining, Indiana steps to the line. Clark again. The rookie. The moment's big. But so is she. First. Free throw. Good. Second one. Rolls in. Dream have one last shot, down 3. They push it up quickly. The ball finds Howard. She sidesteps the defender and launches a contested 3 at the buzzer. Just off the mark. And that's the game. Indiana holds on in a dramatic finish. The crowd is going wild. The players embrace at half court, exhausted and proud. What a battle. What a showcase of talent, grit, and passion for the game. This wasn't just about highlights. It was about who wanted it more. Both teams gave everything, but tonight, it was the Indiana Fever who walked away with the win. Caitlin Clark finished the night with a game-high 27 points and added 8 assists. Aaliyah Boston had a double-double, controlling the paint on both ends. Rhyne Howard was sensational for the Dream, scoring 24 and playing like the leader Atlanta needs her to be. Haley Jones filled up the stat sheet and kept the tempo up. Parker had her moments too, especially down the stretch. This game is a perfect example of why the WNBA is can't-miss basketball. Rising stars, elite skill, strategic chess matches, and pure heart. Whether you're a lifelong fan or just getting into it, nights like this remind you what the game is all about. And for Indiana Fever fans, this one will be remembered for a long time. Caitlin Clark's big-time plays, Boston's dominance, and the way this team came together under pressure showed that this group is for real. Atlanta may have taken the loss, but there's no doubt they're building something special too. With the talent they've got, they'll be back in the spotlight sooner than later. Games like this are stepping stones, and you could see the fight in them until the final buzzer. If you watched this one live, you know it was a roller coaster from start to finish. And if you didn't, well, this highlight reel will take you right into the action. Every shot, every pass, every moment that made this one unforgettable is right here. So sit back, lock in, and get ready to relive one of the most exciting games of the young WNBA season. Indiana Fever versus Atlanta Dream. A game full of stars, fire, and a finish that left fans breathless.